Hi everyone, our video today is going to cover three quick little tools here called Google Dataset Search, Google Public Data Explorer, and Data Gift Maker. They're listed on your syllabus right here, so you can open each one. The first one's a search tool. It works much like Google Scholar, but it searches for data sets. The second one is a Public Data Explorer, which allows you to create really cool animated graphics without any coding. And the third one's a little GIF making tool that you can do these little animated GIFs with survey or poll results. So if you could take a second, maybe hit pause and open up all these on the week 3 portion of the summer class folder. All right, now that you've got these 3 tools open, let's take a look at them. This Google Dataset Search tool just came out of beta this spring with Google. It's very popular. It allows people to set up data sets online and provide information about them. So it helps us determine whether or not they're worthwhile for us to use. Google doesn't fact check or vet these in any way, but it does require people who are posting data sets, the organizations or the researchers posting them, to attach information about the data set, contact information, and so on. Almost everything in here is public domain. If not, it tells you if it's private and you need to get permission to use it, but very rarely would you see that. This is during the coronavirus outbreak, so obviously you have they have a couple of examples here to work with. If you're posting data sets and want to have them listed in Dataset Search, hit this Learn More button. It'll walk you through all the steps to set it up so it becomes highly searchable in their data set, in their search tool. So we're going to do a quick little search here on U.S. mass shootings. And I'll just hit return. And over here on the left, it gives me all the different data sets about U.S. mass shootings. When this tool first came out a little over a year ago, there were 8 data sets in here. Now there's more than 100 in here, which is kind of interesting. And as you click on each one, it'll list information about them. Some are a little more complete than others. This one is really a deep one that started not all that long ago, but it breaks down mass shootings in the U.S., has shooters by race as of February 2020. So this is a relatively new one, and it's got some key data in here. But as you click around on these different ones, it'll say who the author is, public domain, time period covered. This is an older one, 1982 to 2020. This is all of the U.S. mass shootings over close to 40 years, which is a pretty big one. It comes from Mother Jones. Mother Jones has maintained this data set for years. Mother Jones and Stanford Libraries is another one that's pretty deep. It also lists, what formats are available in zip or CSV files. You can explore it here and download it. It also shows how many times it's been cited in scholarly research, which is helpful. And down here in the footnotes, it shows the different sources that it pulled from. So you can just go through and click through these. And like I say, having this extra information here about the data set is really good. Never pull a data set directly off of something like Wikipedia. Anybody can edit it. You need to really verify and fact check these data sets that you pull in. So this is a good tool to help you with that. I'm going to type in coronavirus real quick and see what we get. It obviously gives you a lot of different breakdowns. You can be more specific than I'm being right here. But you could type in very broad topics like this and get some really interesting results. This is some WHO data on it that you can download. It's really interesting data. So it's a good way to do quick searches for data sets. That's the Google Dataset Search. Our next tool, which is this one, is the Google Public Data Explorer. Usually I just Google it because it's got such a long address, google.com/publicdata/directory. And this tool is really great because you can create graphics from pre-built data sets that Google pulls from organizations like the government agencies such as U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics or the U.S. Census or Eurostat, which has a lot of European countries' data. So to do one together here, click on U.S. Census Bureau. And these will be updated, once the 2020 census is complete in 2021. You'll start to see some of the more current data in here, but right now everything goes up until about 2016, 2018, depending on the data set. So click on U.S. Census Bureau over here on the left, and now click on population in the U.S. And you'll see, not much there until you go through and start to pick the subtopics up here in the upper left. You can break it down by birth rate, death rate, net migration rates. Let's just select population down here at the bottom. And we have U.S. selected in the lower left, so it's just going to show the U.S. population increasing from 1900 up to 2018. As you hover over it, it's interactive. You can see all the different dates and how many people there were in the U.S. To share these, it's very easy. You just hit the link button up here, and there's a link. There's the HTML embed code. But let's take this a little deeper and uncheck United States. And now go through and check on a few states like Illinois, California. Let's select New York. I'll throw Florida in there too. And maybe a couple others that you're interested in, but I just selected those 4. Now it gets a little more interesting. You can see how Illinois kind of rounds off. We're actually losing population. New York is rounded off. New York State is rounded off. But Florida and California just have continued to climb. California, very much so, since the mid-1940s, and a lot of housing went in for post-World War II families, and it's just continued to increase. I mean, the country's just overbuilt, or the state's just overbuilt. So it covers everything from 1900 to 2018, but you can narrow down using these little toggles at the bottom. You can grab hold of these little tabs. So if I only want to look at from 1965 to present, I can go 1965 up to 2018. I shouldn't say present because it's only 2018 in this data. Or I can bring it in from this tab and look at it from 1965 to 2000. We'll narrow it down. It also flattens it quite a bit. But you can drag the tabs back out. So you can narrow down the time periods there. Okay. So one other thing you can do with this tool, besides select these other topics or the other states, you can also go in and select different types of charts, and they're listed up here. Bubble charts, or map chart actually is a little bubble chart on the map. It's not all that interesting. But go to the bar chart, which is right here. Your line chart's over on the left. That's the one we defaulted to. There's where it gets interesting. It shows all the states, including the ones you've highlighted. Hit the little animation arrow down here, and this is only the case in the bar chart. It'll actually play through, and you can watch California kind of race up the ranks here from 1900. Then it hits, the 1960s. Florida, too, races up the ranks. Now watch California just take off. Wow, that's something to watch. And then you can see the time ticker play across the bottom all the way to 2018. You can embed this as well. Link, embed code right here. If you're using Medium, the link would probably work best. It doesn't take embed codes quite so well. So you can just paste the link in. The chart should show up right in your Medium account. So in a nutshell, that's a Google Public Data Explorer. It's a really good way to do census data stories, things like that, without having to do a lot of coding. So that's the Google Public Data Explorer. This last one